So you don't think UAPs use optical camouflage?
I think that look, there's a lot that we don't understand about these vehicles and what they are, where or when they come from. But it is likely that whatever they are doing is a side effect or an artifact of what's going on. So like I've talked about this with people. They're like, well, how come like sometimes they're invisible in certain spectrums? And my point is, well, like what if they are not interacting with reality itself in a way you would expect? Like some of these things, you see them and they don't have any radar signature either. I don't know if that means they're cloaking themselves actively or if it means that just they do not exist even in the way that we think about physical matter. I don't know if it's an active countermeasure so much as the nature of the thing itself. But of course, there's so much that we don't know. My current working theory is that they come from the past. So
interesting. Okay.
Coming from the future is too hard. The physics just don't seem to work out. But if you think about it in a certain perspective, like there's a question of where they come from. Like, do they come from Earth? Do they come from nearby? Do they come from really, really far away? Wherever they come from, spatially, the question then is, okay, temporally, what is more likely, that they happen to have come from this particular instant in time, or the hundreds of millions or billions of years that existed prior to our existence? That could be true if they were just like waiting around and then came over, at some point. It could be the case if they are regularly surveying and have just been around for a long time. You could imagine a world where maybe the Earth hosted advanced civilizations a billion years ago and we just don't even know about them, and these are the remnants of that. I'm not betting on any of these. It's just that wherever they come from geographically, there's a very, very long tail of time. And also there's ways to travel forward through time very quickly. If I create a very strong gravity distortion, I can have subjective time inside of that bubble passing very, very slowly relative to the time racing by outside of it. And so it's very believable that something from the distant past could come to our present. It's not really believable that something can come from the future back into our present. So that's my bet, is basically, given that there's been a lot more time before now than now, just probabilistically speaking, I think it's likely these things have been around for a very long time, and either spent a long time coming to us or to themselves subjectively not much time at all.
Oh.
That's it. Look, I'm not saying I know what's up. That's just my.
Not saying I know, but I'm not saying some ideas.
I'm not saying I know what's up. I'm saying that is my current guess.
Okay.
Based on what I know.
Interesting. You said this was like your most underrated product. So why?
Oh, sorry. And last thing is, like, the real bet here is I don't think any of these UAPs, I think it's unlikely they were manufactured or created like within the last few years. That seems very unlikely. I think they've either been around for a very long time, stored for a very long time, created a very long time ago, or traveled from the distant past into our present. Well, see, that's impossible to say. This is the theory, of course, like, that there's these undersea alien bases, that these things are destroyed there. There's an out-of-print book called the UFOs and USOs of the Santa Catalina Channel, and it's all about how people have seen these things that have gone into and out of the ocean in extremely similar ways over the course of decades. And so, like, it's believable. But of course, being stored on Earth does not necessarily mean they came from here, nor does it not. But I would bet that these things are not recently manufactured. I suspect they've been around for either a long time or maybe a really, really long time.
How does that make you feel about our technological superiority?
I think the UAP stuff and our technological development live in completely parallel development tracks right now. If and when we figure out what's going on with UAPs, UFOs, that whole universe, everything's going to change, and this won't be relevant.